Hello everyone, welcome to your English class. I hope all of you are fine at your homes. So class, in this video we are going to start our new chapter, The Making of a Scientist. We have already done the introduction of this chapter in the last video. In this video we are going to start the reading and the explanation of the chapter. So let's begin. At the age of 22, a former Scout of the Year excited the scientific world with a new theory on how cells work. Richard H. Ebright and his college roommate explained the theory in an article in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science. It was the first time this important scientific journal had ever published the work of college students. In sports, that would be like making the big leagues at the age of 15 and hitting a home run your first time at bat. For Richard Ebright, it was the first in a long string of achievements in science and other fields. And it all started with butterflies. An only child, Ebright grew up north of Reading, Pennsylvania. There wasn't much I could do there, he said. I certainly couldn't play football or baseball with a team of one, but there was one thing I could do: collect things. So he did, and he did ever. Did he ever? Beginning in kindergarten, Ebright collected butterflies with the same determination that has marked all his activities. He also collected rocks, fossils, and coins. He became an eager astronomer too, sometimes stargazing all night. So, here you can see that here the author is saying the story about a scientist, how a very young boy, has become a scientist. Richard Ebright, along with his roommate, surprised the world at the young age of 22 when they explained the theory on how cells work in a paper published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science. So, this valuable magazine had published the work of college students for the first time. It was the first time the magazine is publishing that kind of work for the students. For Richard Ebright, it was one of the many achievements that he had already achieved and achieved later in his life. He says that all this curiosity started with butterflies. Ebright grew up in Pennsylvania and was the only child of his parents. He could have not done much there, but as there were very less people living there, he says that he could only do one thing alone, that was collecting things, as he had no friends there to play football, to play volleyball, or any kind of other game. He had begun collecting butterflies. That was the hobby he adopted. And along with butterflies, he also liked to collect rocks, fossils, and coins from the time when he was in kindergarten. He also used to keep on staring at the stars and sometimes the whole night, as he was interested in studying astronomy. So you can see here the curiosity was there from the childhood. Since childhood, he was having that kind of curiosity. He was that much curious to know about the things. So let's move on further. From the first, he had a driving curiosity along with a bright mind. He also had a mother who encouraged his interest in learning. She took him on trips, bought him telescopes, microscopes, cameras, mounting materials, and other equipment, and helped him in many other ways. I was his only companion until he started school, his mother said. After that, I would bring home friends for him. Richard was my whole life after his father died when Richie was in third grade. She and her son spent almost every evening at the dining room table. If he didn't have things to do, I found work for him. Not physical work, but learning things. His mother said he liked it, he wanted to learn. And learn he did. He earned top grades in school on everyday things. He was just like every other kid, his mother said. By the time he was in the second grade, Ebright had collected all 25 species of butterflies round around his hometown. You can see the following box here. The variety of species the butterflies has been given here. So here the writer is saying, along with the chapter moving ahead, that Ebright had always been curious to learn new things and had sharp mind. He was having a brilliant mind along with the curiosity to know about new things. His mother used to encourage him to learn. She used to take him on learning trips, used to buy him telescopes and other instruments that would help him in learning new things. His mother was his only friend until he went to school. Means in his childhood, when he hasn't started the school, till then his mother was the only friend of him. After he started going to school, his mother would get his friends home. He and his mother used to stay together at night, and they used to do and learn things together. Ebright, who was nicknamed Richie by his mother, was her whole life and support system, you can say, after his father died when he was in third grade only. They used to spend most of the evening together. If he did not have anything to do, his mother would find him some task for learning, some work for learning. He used to like the learning work that his mother used to give him, as he wanted to do that. He wanted to learn more and new things. He was a bright student as he used to score good in class and also was a regular in daily task. By the time he had collected all 25 species of butterflies, you can see the species of butterfly, the list of that in the following table. So that probably would have been the end of my butterfly collecting, he said. But then my mother got me a children's book called The Travels of Monarch 10. That book, which told me how monarch butterflies migrate to Central America, opened the world of science to the eager young collector. So that book actually changed the life of Richard, because he got more curious about the new things by that book, by reading that book. And he got to know that how monarch butterflies migrate to Central America, and that book actually opened the world of science to the eager young collector. He was the only young collector of butterflies, but by this book, the whole world of science has been opened in front of him. So he got more curious to learn more new things. Let's move on further. At the end of the book, readers were invited to help study butterfly migrations. They were asked to tag butterflies for research by Dr. Frederick A. Urquhart of the University of Toronto, Canada. Ebright's mother wrote to Dr. Urquhart, and soon Ebright was attaching light adhesive tags to the wings of monarchs. Anyone who found a tagged butterfly was asked to send the tag to Dr. Urquhart. The butterfly collecting season around breeding lasts 6 weeks in late summer. You can see the graph below here. If you are going to chase them one by one, you won't catch very many. So the next step for Ebright was to raise a flock of butterflies. He would catch a female monarch, take her eggs, and raise them in his basement through their life cycle, from egg to caterpillar to pupa to adult butterfly. So means he is going to observe the whole journey of a butterfly. Then he would tag the butterfly's wings and let them go. For several years, his basement was home to thousands of monarchs in different stages of development. Eventually, I began to lose interest in tagging butterflies. It's tedious and there is not much feedback, Ebright said. And all the time I did it. He laughed. Only 2 butterflies I had tagged were recaptured, and they were more than 75 miles from where I lived. So here he is explaining that at the end of the children's book that his mother had got him, the readers of the book were invited to help the study of butterfly migrations. the reader were asked to tag butterflies by Dr. Frederick A. Urquhart of the University of Toronto in Canada. Richie's mother wrote to the doctor, and soon he was attaching adhesive tags to the wings of the butterflies. The person who would find a butterfly with a tag was asked to send the tag to Dr. Urquhart. The butterfly collecting season lasted for around 6 weeks. Then Ebright understood that if he kept on collecting butterflies one by one, he would not be able to collect many. So, the next step he took was that he decided to raise a flock of butterflies in his basement. He used to catch a female butterfly, collect its eggs, and raise them in his basement through their proper life cycles. Means he is going to observe the life cycle of butterflies. So then he used to tag the wings of the butterflies and would let them go. There were thousands of monarch in his basement growing in different life stages for many years, and he has observed their life cycles, how they are going to grow. So eventually he has lost interest in that because it's tedious and there is not much feedback. Everett said, in all time I did it. He laughed. Only 2 butterflies I had tagged were recaptured. Means he didn't get any kind of fruitful feedback out of that experiment. And he has served many years in that. So for this video, only till here we are going to have the explanation. We will cover up the next explanation, the further chapter, in our next video. Till then you have to read the continuing lesson so that it will be easier for you to understand the further one. Till then, have a good day. Thanks for watching.